Hello everyone, today we have probably one of the winners of 2023. This is the MiniQ5 flip smartphone. It's essentially a Cat S22, but without the bulkiness. So it's a slim Cat S22. This device has a touchscreen. You can install pretty much any app that you want. And yes, let me answer the frequently asked questions. Yes, it does have WhatsApp. Battery life is probably going to be 1 to 2 days max. I'll talk about that in just a second. Then you have voice call quality is 8.5 out of 10. Very good. Actually, I'm very impressed. It does have speakerphone. It does have all the apps. So if you have any app that you think, as long as it runs on Android 11, it's going to run on this phone. Okay, that's pretty much this. And please do not ask any questions in regards to that. If it's more specific than that, then of course, please ask questions. I try to interact with you guys. But let's get to the tour of the device now. Okay, so now we have right here the MiniQ5. It does have an outer screen. It does have these two buttons where you can answer calls. It does have a USB-C cable, which is a good thing. But then we need to talk about something in regards to that as well. It does have a 3.5mm headphone jack. It has a flashlight, which you can activate by pressing this button or maintaining it press. Let's see, right there. Let's put it back. And then you can have the volume rockers right here, which work really well. You can navigate without the need of a touchscreen. So you can just navigate around the device, no issues. But you can also install apps. So Gboard is right there. Let me show you how that works in just a little bit. But as you see, I installed a lot of apps, the apps that I need. And you can install more apps. This runs Android 11, and it's the full Android 11, not Android 11 Go. So it's even better than the Cat S22 in that regard, because you can install even more apps that you may need specifically for your devices. It does have Google Play services, and as you see, it does have WhatsApp and Facebook in this case, but you can uninstall those. You don't have to keep them. The camera is serviceable. It's a 2-megapixel camera. I took a picture of this thing in just a second, a couple of minutes ago. So flip smartphone right there. And again, I will showcase it here so that you can see it. It's nothing impressive, but it will get the job done. If you need to share something last minute or something like that. Okay, let me give you the texting experience, which is something that a lot of you ask for. So first, I have installed here a Gboard. So it's going to create the on-screen keyboard. This is something that I installed after the fact, so I can show you how it works. And of course, it's going to start typing different things right there because it's listening to my voice, and it works like Gboard would work on a smartphone. But if you want to use the regular keyboard, I'm going to have to uninstall it because you can only select one at a time. But the regular keyboard is a little bit different. So let me try to figure it out. So as you see, the way that typing works on this device, it will be triple click. So I'll put hello. And it does have a predictive engine at the bottom, but honestly, if you're using triple click, the predictive engine is not that important at that point. So hello, my name is Jose. Oh, there it is. And again, you can use the predictive engine if you wanted to, like I put an A and R all, and then you click it. But it's a little bit more of a hassle to use. So if you want to use Gboard, you can use Gboard. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I'll showcase to you that you can install APKs. Like I said, this runs Android 11, so that should have been a given. And I'm using the touchscreen just because it'll be faster for the video. I'm not trying to waste your time. So you see right there, you can install it and then you can use it. And then boom, you can use any app essentially that you want because it does have a small touchscreen that allows you to do that. So it's a slim Cat S22 essentially. The battery life is not amazing. I would say it's probably 1 to 2 days max, just because it's not very optimized. I think you can create some optimizations, like for example, one of the big things that you could do is to make sure to use battery saver. I think that will definitely help. And of course, right here, you can also navigate with the keypad. As far as what it brings by default, you do have the tools, which is calculator, alarm, timer, very basic things. But since you can install pretty much any app, I think these are not that useful. You have the music, then you have email, which, I wouldn't use this email. I would probably log in with a different email account or client. You have the multimedia, which is pictures, videos. I can show you a little bit of the screen right there, what I took a picture of. But of course, I'll enlarge it when I was talking about camera. But again, it can get the job done. And yeah, this device has pretty much everything that you need and want. And of course, it's an Android flip smartphone, as they dub it, MiniQ5 flip smartphone. And it does have an American version, which works with T-Mobile. It works with Red Pocket and AT&T per my testing in my area. And it does work sporadically with Verizon. I wouldn't recommend it for Verizon, but it technically works. And you may have better results in your area. It's technically unlocked for all bands. And it does have a global version as far as I'm able to tell on the internet. Again, this device is excellent, but it does have one major flaw. So right here you have my apps, for example, AntennaPod, DuckDuckGo, things that I personally use whenever I'm testing Android flip phones. And you have F-Droid, and you can install whatever you need, open source, yada, yada, yada. Okay, now let's talk about the defects of this device, which is actually very important. So this device has a major defect, and the major defect is this port right here, the USB-C port. Okay, so there's no big issue. USB-C is great. I love it. I mean, most people do. I think, most of us are really happy with it. So USB-C, perfect. It connects. But when you connect this to power, so when you power it up to charge it, the device will shut down. And it will enter into essentially a cycle of charging and not charging, charging and not charging. And it's going to do that until it charges, technically. I left it all night and it got me to 80%. So it technically charges, but I wouldn't recommend it for super reliability. I know that probably this is my port. I haven't seen other devices that do this, but maybe it's just a defect on my device. But I advise to you that you make sure that your device has a working port and that it doesn't shut down when it charges, because that will be really annoying. I mean, that will eliminate Android Auto, for example, because once you connect it to USB, boom, it will not work. Now you need a very long USB-C. This is not your natural USB-C. It's a little bit longer, probably maybe, I don't know by how long, but it's very, very long because it's trying to get inserted in here. So it only works with this charger that it brings as of right now in my household. And that is kind of a bummer in my personal opinion, but it does charge. Again, just make sure to look for that quality control and to ask for a refund or another device if you think that you have a faulty device. I'm going to definitely be keeping this device because I think it's very interesting. And if you have any questions about it, please let me know in the comments. I'll be interacting with you guys. I'm really excited about this device because, again, it's a slim Cat S22 with full Android 11 that you can customize whichever you want. I'm really, really happy that this company technically is Xiaomi, but it's called TIQ now. So TIQ MiniQ5. They're on Amazon, and you can, again, essentially return it and use it in whichever way you want. It does have a dual SIM. Another thing to mention, it does have a dual SIM. So it does have two IMEIs and a micro SD card slot, which, it's really nice. I'm really happy to say that I've been using it and it works very reliably. And it's light. It's not heavy like the Cat S22, but it does have all those features and all of those conveniences if you need them. If you've been looking for a transition device, if you've been looking for a device that does everything like your smartphone do, but at a reduced screen size that will limit your usage, this is the device for you. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.